buying or selling a property is a significant life event. It's a complex process, fraught with legal intricacies and potential pitfalls. That's why we rely on solicitors. These legal professionals guide us through the labyrinth of paperwork, ensuring everything goes smoothly. They act as intermediaries, negotiators, and protectors of our interests. Without their expertise, the average person would struggle to navigate the complexities of property law. Solicitors provide a vital service, offering peace of mind during a potentially stressful time. The solicitor's role extends far beyond simply drafting contracts. They conduct due diligence, verify titles, and ensure all necessary disclosures are made. They liaise with other parties involved, such as estate agents, mortgage lenders, and surveyors. In essence, they become our trusted advisors, guiding us through every step of the transaction. Their expertise and diligence are crucial for a successful and stress-free property transaction. Their role is particularly crucial when dealing with large sums of money, as is the case with property transactions. Mistakes or negligence on their part can have devastating financial and emotional consequences for their clients. Therefore, it is imperative that solicitors adhere to the highest standards of professionalism and diligence. They are entrusted with safeguarding their clients' interests and ensuring a smooth and legally sound transaction. The legal profession is built on a foundation of trust and integrity. When solicitors fail to uphold these values, the consequences can be severe. This story centers around a hypothetical client named Mrs. Smith. She was selling her property and had engaged a solicitor named Alan from a firm called Law and Order Legal Services to handle the legal aspects of the sale. Everything seemed to be progressing without a hitch. Mrs. Smith had found a buyer, agreed on a price, and was eager to finalize the sale. The completion date was fast approaching, and all parties were ready to proceed. However, a significant problem arose just days before the completion date. Secure Bank, the institution providing the mortgage to the buyer, requested a crucial document from Alan. This document, a seemingly standard form confirming the discharge of Mrs. Smith's existing mortgage upon completion, was essential for Secure Bank to release the funds and finalize the transaction. Without it, the sale would collapse. Days turned into hours, and despite repeated requests from both Mrs. Smith and Secure Bank, Alan failed to provide the necessary documentation. He offered a series of vague excuses, blaming technical issues, lost files, and even a sick family member. His communication became increasingly evasive, and he stopped answering calls and emails altogether. The situation was becoming increasingly desperate. Mrs. Smith, already stressed about the impending move, was now facing the potential collapse of her property sale. The buyer, left in limbo by the delay, was threatening to pull out. Mrs. Smith was facing a financial nightmare, with potential penalties for failing to complete the sale and the prospect of starting the entire process again. Secure Bank, despite their initial assurances, was also becoming increasingly impatient. They had a responsibility to their own stakeholders and could not release the funds without the necessary documentation. The clock was ticking, and it seemed like the sale was doomed to fail. Throughout the initial stages of the property transaction, Secure Bank had projected an image of reliability and efficiency. Their mortgage offer was competitive, their communication clear, and their team responsive. They had assured Mrs. Smith and her buyer that, provided all necessary documents were in order, the completion would proceed smoothly. However, as Alan's negligence became apparent, Secure Bank's demeanor shifted. Their initial understanding and helpfulness evaporated, replaced by a rigid adherence to protocol and a distinct lack of flexibility. They were quick to wash their hands of any responsibility, placing the blame squarely on Alan's shoulders. Secure Bank's transformation from a supportive partner to an unyielding entity highlighted the often impersonal nature of large financial institutions. While their actions were understandable from a bureaucratic perspective, they added another layer of stress and frustration to Mrs. Smith's already difficult situation. It became clear that in the world of finance, personal circumstances often take a back seat to cold, hard rules. This situation served as a stark reminder that even seemingly trustworthy institutions can be quick to protect their own interests, leaving individuals to deal with the fallout. It underscored the importance of having a competent and reliable solicitor who would act as a true advocate for their clients' interests, especially when dealing with powerful entities like banks. Section 4. Breach of duty, the weight of professional responsibility. Alan's actions, or rather inaction in this scenario, represented a clear breach of his professional duty. Solicitors are bound by a strict code of conduct that emphasizes diligence, communication, and acting in the best interests of their clients. By failing to provide the necessary documentation, Alan had neglected these duties with potentially severe consequences for his client. His lack of communication only exacerbated the situation. Solicitors are expected to keep their clients informed of any developments and to respond promptly to their queries. Alan's evasiveness and ultimately his silence only heightened Mrs. Smith's anxiety and eroded the trust that should be at the heart of the solicitor-client relationship. Furthermore, Alan's conduct potentially constituted professional negligence. Negligence occurs when a professional fails to exercise the level of care and skill that a reasonable professional in the same field would exercise under similar circumstances. If it could be proven that Alan's actions fell below this standard, he could be held liable for the financial and emotional distress caused to his client. This case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of professional accountability within the legal profession. Solicitors wield significant power and influence, and their actions can have a profound impact on their clients' lives. When they fail to uphold their professional duties, the consequences can be devastating. Section 5. The ripple effect. Client distress and damaged trust. The impact of Alan's negligence extended far beyond the immediate financial implications of a potentially failed property sale. Mrs. Smith was left feeling betrayed, vulnerable, and deeply distrustful of the legal profession. The stress of the situation took a toll on her health and well-being, adding another layer of suffering to an already difficult experience. This case highlights the human cost of professional negligence. It's easy to get caught up in the legal and financial aspects of such situations, but it's crucial to remember that behind every case, there's a person whose life has been disrupted. The emotional toll of such experiences can be significant, leading to anxiety, stress, and a loss of trust in professionals who are supposed to protect their interests. Furthermore, Alan's actions had the potential to damage the reputation of his entire firm. Even if Law and Order Legal Services was not held directly liable for his negligence, the negative publicity surrounding the case could deter potential clients and tarnish the firm's standing within the community. This underscores the importance of law firms fostering a culture of ethical conduct and accountability among their solicitors. The ripple effects of professional negligence can be far-reaching, impacting not just the individuals directly involved, but also the reputation of the legal profession as a whole. Section 6. The price of negligence, consequences and implications. The consequences of Alan's actions could be significant. Mrs. Smith could potentially pursue a professional negligence claim against him, seeking compensation for her financial losses, the stress and inconvenience caused, and any other damages she suffered as a result of his conduct. Such a claim, if successful, could result in a hefty financial penalty for Alan and potentially his firm. Beyond the immediate financial implications, Alan's actions could also lead to disciplinary action from his professional body. Solicitors are expected to adhere to a strict code of conduct, and any breach of this code can result in sanctions ranging from a reprimand to being struck off the roll of solicitors, effectively ending their legal career. This case serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the importance of professional diligence and the potentially severe consequences of negligence. It underscores the need for solicitors to approach their work with the utmost care and attention to detail, recognizing the significant impact their actions can have on their clients' lives. Furthermore, it emphasizes the responsibility of law firms to ensure their solicitors are properly trained and supervised, and that they foster a culture of ethical conduct and accountability. The legal profession is built on a foundation of trust. When that trust is broken, the consequences can be devastating, not just for the individuals involved, but for the integrity of the profession itself.